Hello, world. It's your boy, Cool Breeze Justin Christie, your ringmaster of ceremonies for Rage in the Cage, again for another episode of Rage Talk. I'm here with James White, the owner of James White Fitness. He is going to be grappling at Roll in the Cage 5 on Friday, June 17th at the Oklahoma City Farmers Public Market. He's going to be grappling against Pete May. James, how are you doing today, buddy?
Doing great, Justin. Always good to see you.
It's happy to see you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You're going to be grappling and rolling the cage 5. I'm always excited to watch you compete, man. You bring a certain level of intensity, which probably hence the gorilla, those gorilla tactics.
Yeah.
You're such an intense guy inside that cage, whether it's grappling, whether it's your fights and things like that. It's always awesome to watch you compete. What do you know about your opponent, Pete May?
So Pete and I fought for gold at Jiu-Jitsu World League at the Texas Open in 2021.
Okay.
And I won that match. It was a good scrap. And that fight was at 182 pounds. I came up for that. I probably weighed 169. Change in my pocket.
Wow.
So that was a good match. We were supposed to fight again, and for whatever reason, he didn't show up for that fight. So then when I saw his name on the list of fighters for this show, I thought, well, let's get it again.
Awesome. It's not very often I get to actually interview some of the coaches in some of these gyms. Summer Seaborg, our matchmaker for Rage in the Cage and Roll in the Cage, when she first started these grappling matches for Rage in the Cage, which is how Roll in the Cage came about, she initially wanted to get coaches versus coaches,
sure.
And which is a phenomenal concept because you always wonder, is my coach better than your coach type of thing. So getting that healthy competition between the gyms and the fight teams and the martial arts students as well. Is a phenomenal building block, I think, for the foundation of Oklahoma martial arts.
Sure.
So this is one opportunity that I actually get to interview one of the coaches, obviously James White Fitness. Tell me a little bit about your gym and, what can students expect when they walk in the door there?
Well, our gym is smaller than a lot of martial arts studios. And so our number one focus is just to kind of cultivate that atmosphere that everyone is welcome, from beginner to advanced, from young to old, whatever shape they're in. We'd like to get them in there, make them feel welcome. And then the technique and the skills, that kind of comes later. But if someone feels like they're welcome, they feel like that the more advanced people will help them, the veterans are going to help the beginners. Mm-hmm. Then when those beginners become the veterans and more advanced, they can help the new beginners coming in, and it just kind of rolls like that.
Okay.
We make sure that all are welcome. We get on the mat, we work hard, we have fun. Hopefully nobody gets injured.
Yep.
And then we try to bring the white belts up, and make them feel like winners.
Martial arts is a rough activity. Injuries happen, obviously, but tell everybody where they can find your gym. What's the location?
So we're in Norman, Oklahoma. We're at 24th Avenue and Lindsay. We're in the historic Castle building.
Okay.
And we've got a 7,500 square foot facility. We've got a full size 30-foot competition cage, plenty of mat space for jiu-jitsu. My wife has fitness challenges. So they have Bungee Fitness, which is a really cool format. And pretty much anything that you'd want, fitness or martial arts related, we have there at the gym.
I love it. And speaking of history, historic building, and this is, I think, the main reason why I was so excited to get to interview a coach. I want to find out a little bit more about your martial arts history. When did you get started in martial arts, and what inspired you to get started in martial arts to begin with?
Well, I wanted, my younger brother and I wanted to get something to kind of make sure that we're doing good things in life and not bad things, to clean up our behavior a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so we found a place in Denton, Texas. The guy's name was Kurt Gibson in Denton, Texas. And he was a brown belt under Alan Moeller.
Okay.
And then when I moved to Dallas, I went and started training with Alan Moeller in about 2005.
Okay. So what was the first system of martial arts that you started training
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. Wow. So you've been in it since, for well over 10 years, 15 years?
Well, I've been in it for a while. There was a time that there was a long time. Yeah. Right. Well, there was a period there where I didn't train. But yeah, I've only ever trained under Alan Moeller, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm a brown belt under him.
Okay.
And just competing and trying to balance my competition lifestyle with training my students and the kids' classes and and getting everybody geared up.
Is Alan still out of Denton, Texas?
He's in Dallas.
Dallas
He's
now. Okay.
He's in Grapevine, Texas, and Deep Ellum.
Okay.
2 locations.
Oh, man, I love Grapevine.
Yeah.
I love going out that way. I go to Dallas all the time for some good barbecue, man. I love that Hard 8 barbecue. You been there?
I haven't been there.
Oh,
No,
man.
We
They
go
should pay us for this right now.
every Saturday that we're not competing. We drive to Dallas to train, but I get at Deep Ellum in the morning. I
Mhm.
train. I go to Grapevine in the afternoon. I train, and then we may eat lunch, and then we book it back to town.
Highly recommend that barbecue joint,
Yeah,
man.
okay, we'll have to check it out.
There's been one year on Father's Day that my wife and I woke up and she was like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I'm hungry too. She's like, what do you want? I'm like, I want barbecue. And she's like, well, the only barbecue I really want is Hard 8. I'm like, let's
right.
go. 3.5 hours later, I'm
Cool.
eating the best smoked chicken I've had. It's awesome. So
We'll check it out.
yeah, man, I'll absolutely love it. So shout out to your coach in Dallas. You've got your gym here in Norman. You're going to be competing at Rolling the Cage 5. Tell us a little bit about some of the fighters that have come up underneath you.
Well, we've had a pretty good crew of fighters coming up. Right now, the people that I'm excited about are my white belts,
Yes.
because honestly, that's the culture of the gym. That's the core of it. They work harder than anybody else, and they're eager to compete. They're eager to prove themselves,
Mhm.
and that's what really gets me up in the morning, is seeing these people they're adult people. They
Mhm.
have jobs, they have lives, they have kids, yet they put in 6 days a week, training as hard as they can, kind of battling time restrictions, battling minor injuries here and there, and still finding ways to come up with those competition dues, find a way to travel with us, and then represent their team. So right now we've got on the same card that I'm fighting on, we've got Maddie Reeves.
Okay.
She's a real slick white belt. I can't wait to give her blue belt sometime soon. She works super hard, 6-day-a-week trainer. We've got 2 kids on this card. My son Pax is fighting. They call him
Pax the Axe.
Pax the Axe. That's
Man,
right.
I love that kid.
Yeah, and he's a showstopper, man. Win or lose, that kid just loves the smoke. He loves to scrap. So I think that's going to be a really exciting fight, because he likes the spotlight. He feeds on that, and he's going to give us a real good show. His cousin Brantley also on the card,
Mhm.
and I'll tell you what, that kid is real slick too. He's long and lanky, but a really good wrestler. And they're both thick as thieves. They're
I
great
love
training
it.
partners.
I love it. Yeah, we were able to have those kids on our kids special episode of the Talk Before the Walk this
Yeah.
past week. That was so fun. Those kids are so lively. They're so respectful.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job. Coaching them and putting putting them in a spotlight to where they're going to be having a background for success in their future life.
Well, and I know it was hard to get anything out of those kids, but my wife and I both said we think you did a great job on the
Thank you
interviews.
so much.
But you could hardly get more than a one-word response from them. They'd say, "Do you have any final words for your opponent?" No.
No.
Okay, well, moving on.
All right.
But they are excited for the fight. I think they just get nervous in front of the camera.
Of course, yeah. It's a whole nother atmosphere. You got the lights, you got the camera, you got some strange guy on the internet talking to you. Back in our day, we told him don't do that. now,
right.
Now you're like,
And
here's
now
a
it's like,
camera,
yeah.
talk to the guy.
Yeah, and then the guys are talking about ripping people's arms off and
Yeah.
hitting them with barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's just because we're vicious like that.
Right.
That's how we came
Yeah.
up. Because barbecue sauce is good.
That's right.
Yeah, that head country, man.
Yeah.
You get you an apple habanero with the good smoked arm.
This is what I hear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah.
No, but man, I'm really happy to have you with this interview. We're here at Whiskey Nights Dance Hall and Saloon. You're going to be taking on Pete May. What do you? Did I ask you what you knew about him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, no,
Forget it.
Yeah.
Pete May now. No, I'm just kidding. What can we expect to see from you in that fight against Pete May?
Well, I mean, it's really no secret. I compete a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I really don't have any secrets. I'm an aggressive fighter. I love to wrestle, love to be on top, love to pass guard, and I love to submit. So
Okay.
I don't think I'm giving away any secrets.
What's your favorite submission? You've been doing this for a long time now. Like, do you have a favorite one? Like a one of you keep in the pocket for?
Choosing a favorite submission is like choosing a favorite kid.
Yeah.
It's Pax.
Okay.
But no,
It's Pax. That's my
I
favorite.
mean, I probably hit more. Head and arm triangles than anything in competition. But I do love a good triangle. Love a good dart.
I think the last time I watched you compete, you hit a triangle, didn't you?
I hit a triangle at World League. The last time I rolled in the cage, I think we went to decision, but I was hitting some darts there.
Yeah, you were hitting some good
Yeah.
submission attempts on that one.
thank
But yeah, well, guys, Roll in the Cage 5 is happening on Friday, June 17th at the Oklahoma City Farmers Public Market. Make sure you get your tickets at stubwire.com. It's going to be also live on the Fight TV app, so make sure you download the app and subscribe to the Rage in the Cage stuff on Fight. You can always keep up with Rage in the Cage news at Rage in the Cage OKC on their Facebook page. We're going to be showing this video also on the Fast Productions YouTube page, and make sure you give a subscription to the Rage in the Cage OKC YouTube page as well. James, thank you so much for being here, brother. Justin. I really appreciate it. We're here at Whiskey Nights, which is also going to be the after party spot for Roll in the Cage 5 and Rage in the Cage 88, which will be happening on June 18th as well, respectively. But make sure you come out here. You can bring your tickets for free entry, or your ticket stubs for free entry out here to Whiskey Nights, and two-step your butts off. We will see you at the fights, Rage Nation, June 17th, June 18th, Roll in the Cage 5, Rage in the Cage 88. I've been your ringmaster of ceremonies, Cool Breeze Justin Christie, along with James White from James White Fitness. So go check out his gym. Make sure you get your tickets at stubwire.com. James, where can they get their tickets?
Stubwire.com.
Stubwire.com. Thanks, everybody. See you at the